in to Gardening with Daddy Pete. Thank you for tuning in this time. And if you remember last time we were talking about berries in your garden, we did a segment on blueberries. And today we're going to look at growing strawberries in the home gardening. Here at Daddy Pete's, we do provide a lot of mixes, and we also provide a lot of information to help you be successful in your gardening. So if you would go to our webpage, which is simply Daddy Pete's, and that's with an S, daddypete's.com, go there and look, and you'll see all of our gardening info, our podcast. We have some YouTube videos, and you can look at our products while you're there, our different products. We do have a product usage chart, and if you notice when you go into your independent garden centers, you will find those on there that tells you what products work with the project or the particular vegetable, herb, berries in this case, shrubs, if you're planting trees, herbs, we can take care of it all. So when you get a moment, go to daddypete's.com and check us out. Our motto is we help you grow, and that's exactly what we intend to do. So give us a little shout out there. If you'll also look on the page if you have a gardening question or just a comment, please leave that there. I do answer all of those, and we'd love to hear from you. So let's talk about growing strawberries in the garden. Strawberries usually, and we'll get into that, there's several different types that grow well here in North Carolina. And as most of you know, we're located in the Piedmont, North Carolina, which today is a rainy day. We're about 50 degrees. So that's something to be thankful for today. We're not in the snow again or the ice. Usually you plant strawberries in the fall. The best way to get strawberries is usually in what we call a plug or a small plant. Sometimes they come bundle. In the bundle of like 25, you can buy the plants in the little small 4-inch pots. They seem to be more expensive that way. And then if you go into your local extension office, sometimes they do offer or sell, or they do offer a way to where that you can buy those plants direct from someone or some company. Now, I know that during all of the different seed catalogs that I get, a lot of them usually don't send out the strawberry plants till, say, end of February, early March, depending on what area you're in. And you can plant them this time of year. That's one reason we're doing this. You can plant them this time of year. Your chance of getting a full crop is going to be very slim, but you may get some berries. And then again, I have seen the berries planted in the spring actually come in what we call is a false crop, and actually will come in around September, and you may get berries then. But you will get one thing, and that would be the growth. They're set, they're ready for the next year, and they put off a runner, and it looks like a little small strawberry plant. That's going to be your sets for the next year, especially if you've got them in the ground where that runner touch the ground, it will root itself, and those will be if you want to start a new bed or you want to replant this bed, and that is to be done in the fall. Okay, so let's get into what does it take to grow strawberries, okay? First of all, you want to locate a place where the strawberries will do the most good. Sunlight's one thing. It needs at least 8 hours each day of sunlight. So we advise against planting against tree lines, it's better, or buildings. Get the strawberries more out in the open if you can, but especially you don't want to block that sun in the fall, winter months when the sun's at a lower degree or an angle. Strawberries do like a lot of sun. Now we're going to talk a little bit too about the soil. And soil is a big thing with strawberries. You can actually plant strawberries, and if you're not careful, especially here in North Carolina, and I'm sure South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, in the southeast area we have a lot of red clay or different colors clay, and planting strawberries in that, you're not going to be too successful. So you'll need to amend the soil. Strawberries like organic matter. They like to be up on a mound or raised up some. And they also like drainage. They don't like to be in a low area where it stays damp or wet. It causes root rot. Strawberries will grow, they do put down roots, but if you'll look in the middle of the plant, we call that a crown, you'll see the small leaf sticking up. It grows above the soil line, and it does not like to get wet. If that gets flooded or too much moisture and that center part or the crown gets overly wet, you're going to lose that plant. So raised bed, a raised up mound area is the best to do strawberries. Now, if you do have red clay, we do offer some amendments for that. And what you want to do is start prepping your soil or your bed to do that. If you're going to do raised beds, at Daddy Pete we have a raised bed mix that you can put in your raised bed and you can plant straight into that. If you're going to amend your soil, and it is a red clay type soil, then what I suggest that you do is you take and mix our planting mix at a 50-50 ratio when you build that mound or that row or that bed, and then I would have a soil sample done on that. Send it off to your local extension office and tell them you're planting strawberries. There'll be a place on the form to do that, and they will tell you if you need anything else. Strawberries do not require a lot of nitrogen. Used to be that, and I don't know how available it is now, but so look, if you do use commercial fertilizer, use a 2-10-10 is a good fertilizer for strawberries. If they're using organics like our Daddy Pete's composted dairy manure, use that. Your nutrients are there, and mix that in with the existing soil that you already have. Now, if you're one of our gardeners that's down east towards the coast and you have sandy soil, you wouldn't want to use the planting mix. You would want to use our dairy compost. You already have the drainage with the sand. You're needing organic matter. So again, a good mix of 50-50 would make you a good bed for strawberries there. Now, as we go on, and there's when you're building those beds, if you're going to do it out like a row garden, build that bed up. A lot of people cover in plastic, set your plants about 1 foot apart. And on the plastic, on your raised hump there, or you can actually put it in. And what I like to do is keep everything on the organics, keep away from plastics. We have a product called Soil Enhancer, which is an aged pine bark pine. They're real small chips of pine barks. That makes a great mulch, covers it, a good weed barrier, keeps the roots of the plant even from on your watering, keeps the heat away from them in the summertime, and it helps insulate them in the wintertime from the cold. And that is our Soil Enhancer. That would be my choice instead of using a plastic. I like to stay as organic as possible, so we did have that, use that product. We do have that available to you, and you can get that in most of your independent garden centers. Again, remember these products, if you're in the clay, you want the planting mix. Mix it 50-50 with your red clay when you're building that mound. If you're doing raised beds, you can use our raised bed product. If you're down east, you're in sandy soils where you already have a lot of drainage, use our composted dairy cow manure. Now, water on strawberries in, say, the summertime. Strawberries usually will take care of themselves 9 times out of 10 with a bed that's been amended. Usually, when they've got their roots down, they usually do fine. If anything, again, you want to stay away from too much water with a strawberry. Now, overwatering, especially at the time that they're putting on fruit, getting ready to fruit, they will absorb a lot of water on the fruit, but you also run a risk of having a watery, light fruit. The taste is not as vibrant. So that's another thing to look out for when you're doing it. Another good reason to have well-drained soil. I'm going to give you some of the varieties that grow well in this region here, and now there are other varieties that that's out there, but I know when you get the different seed books or catalogs that comes in, you know, we've got this Everbearing, we've got this one, we've got that, and all these are good strawberries, okay? And well, I'm not saying that they won't grow here in North Carolina or in our region here on the East Coast, but some do better than the others. There's some tried and true varieties out there. Now, you know, I'm one of the guys that likes to take a chance on some, so I would plant some tried and true varieties, and I'd probably make another bed and do some experimenting with some of maybe the Everbearing type berries. But the ones that work good here, and I did get this, and you can go to what I use on this for the varieties and all, because the tests have been run year after year. I use the North Carolina State Extension page, and they go through and give you the varieties, fixing the soil, harvest. If there's any disease, it gives you the alerts, things to look out for, how to take care of these strawberries. But let me give you those varieties. And most of these, they'll start their fruiting between April and May in the Piedmont region here. If you're in the coastal plain, coastal area, they're going to come in a little sooner. If you're towards the mountains, then they're going to come in, or foothills area, they're going to come in just a little later. But some of these varieties are Chandler. A Chandler is a tried and true, good variety, nice size berry. Also, we've got the Caramosa. That's a nice strawberry. Festival is it's a little redder, not as deep red. And then the Sweet Charlie, which is just a little more red. One thing you're going to notice about the strawberries that you do grow in your home garden compared to the berries that you buy in the store. And actually, I just bought 2 cartons of berries this week in the store. And when you cut them open, they're red right around the outside, but on the inside they're white. They have a hard core in them. You're not going to find that on the berries you grow at home that's ripened outside, under the sun, under organics. You're going to see that berry is going to be that red color almost to the center. You're going to find that the core is not going to be as hard or as vibrant as the core is in some of the berries that's grown for market. Another thing, the berries you buy in the store are picked usually on the greener side. They haven't had a chance to ripen naturally. So when they do ripen slowly, sometimes they're sprayed to retard ripening. Some of the different things they do on that, so they can make the ride across country. You know, in the wintertime when you're getting strawberries, you're getting them from Mexico, you're getting them from Florida, maybe the lower parts of Florida, some parts of California, and I'm not sure where else, but I do know that. So they have to be shipped, and how many days that takes. Then they go to the store, sit on the shelf. So totally different from the strawberries that you're getting here. Now, again, as I said, we did a segment on blueberries last week. And the reason I'm doing these different berry podcasts is berries are so important in our health. They provide great antioxidants, blueberries, strawberries, and then we're going to get into talking about raspberries, blackberries, and some other ones too as we go along. We'll even get into talking about muscadines, grapes, and all. But these are, not only are they great to eat, but they're also a great health benefit. So growing strawberries in your own garden is nice. Now you can grow these in pots, just like we talked about other things. Strawberries can grow into your bigger nursery container pots. As people set up strawberry towers where they grow those, you can do it in a 5-gallon bucket, drill holes in the side of those, put some on top, put them on the sides, it still works. You can grow strawberries in hanging baskets. I've seen people take and make an A-frame outside and put gutters like on your house, fill it with soil, set the strawberry plants in there. As long as they're in the sun, right time of year, you can, you can use that system. There's just on and on ways that you can grow these strawberries if you'll just take time to look at people, how ingenious they figured out how to grow strawberries. And, that's something that we get fresh, and you can serve them for later, strawberry preserves, make jams out of them, use them fresh in smoothies, and all your cookings, whip up some good whipped cream and just, strawberries and cream, great. So these are some of the things, though, and the benefits you get out of growing your own strawberries. So I hope this has helped you some. If you have any questions on growing strawberries or what products to use or how to prep your soil, again, you can go to our website, which is daddypeach.com. Click on that little box that says ask a question. Go ahead and type that in, send it in. I will get back to you. And we will try, whatever question it is, we'll try to answer it again on the podcast for you. So when you tune in, not only will you get an answer directly back to you, but we'll put it back so other people can share in the same thing that you're going through. Because usually when someone has a question, there's a lot of people that has a question. Some people just don't take the time to ask, or, like me, I don't want to bother somebody. It's not a bother. That's what we're here for. So, but next time on Gardening with Daddy Pete, what we're going to do is move on into our raspberries, blackberries, and one thing that I didn't know until maybe 10 years ago, that there were different colors of raspberries. Now, there's different types of blackberries. There's thornless blackberries. There's blackberries with thorns. And then you have your wild variety that grows native here in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, which is a good berry. We want to talk some more about that. So, they kind of be looking at your gardening spots, your areas. One thing about most of your gardening, if it's a summer or late spring, early summer crop, you're going to need to have a lot of sun. Some of your fall crops, some of your early spring crops, or what we call cold weather crops, it could be in partial shade. So as you're planting your gardens around your home, make sure that you're thinking what you're going to plant there, how much sun do we have, and how much water. Is it a low area? Am I going to need to build it up? It may be a great place for a raised bed there. These are some of the things you need to be thinking about even planting these strawberries. Well, I certainly do appreciate y'all tuning in and listening today. And until next time, You've been listening to Gardening with Daddy Pete, and I'm Melvin York.